I want to move on to what's been happening in the last couple of days with the United States and Nigeria, because the US has warned of new strikes against Islamic State targets in northwestern Nigeria. Responding to President Trump's claims that the strike was the result of the Nigerian government allowing Christians to be killed, the US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth wrote on X that his Department of War is always ready and there's going to be more to come. While the Nigerian government welcomed the strikes and insisted they had cooperated with the United States on the operation, the West African country rejected President Trump's claim that the Christmas Day bombardment was aimed at protecting Christians. Well, joining me now is Dr. Alex Vines, Africa Director at the European Council on Foreign Relations. Good morning, Alex.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us. Now, Trump claims that the strike was to protect Christians. Is there any proof of that?
No, all the proof is that violence in Nigeria is fairly, unfortunately, equitable across faith lines. So over the Christmas period, in fact, there have been more attacks reported against Muslims, including a mosque being attacked in Maiduguri in northeast Nigeria. So the claim that there's a genocide against Christians in Nigeria by the Trump administration is false. But what is true is that Islamic State is making progress inside northwest Nigeria in Sokoto State. It's a state that I've traveled and been in myself, and the security there is deteriorating very significantly. And so the strike is probably genuine, although in terms of targeting Islamic State, there's no doubt about that.
Alex, do we know how effective this strike was? You said that there's a certain area that's been targeted, but do we know how many terrorists were actually, in the words of Pete Hegseth, taken out by these strikes?
No, we don't, and there are criminal networks in the Sokoto state, so is it 100% confirmed that is Islamic State? We don't know that for sure. We do know that Islamic State is operating in the northwest of Nigeria in Sokoto. So we'll need more information on that. What is very clear is that the Nigerian government has been cooperating, sharing intelligence, co-planning with the United States. This has been building up for over a month. There was a senior Nigerian delegation led by their national security advisor, Mr. Ribadu, in Washington just about a month ago. They were there to reassure the Americans that Nigeria does protect Christians and that the violence is not kind of partisan, that Nigeria isn't turning a blind eye for protection of Christians. And I think that has worked to a degree. I think what's so political in this is the timing of the US strike, that it's on Christmas Day, and then the rhetoric that has come out of the Trump White House, that, this is against kind of Islamic scum, quote, and then wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. So the timing is definitely very political, and that's aimed at the base of Mr. Trump's party, the Make America Great Again evangelical base.
Alex, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Dr. Alex Vines there, Africa Director at the European Council on Foreign Relations. Pete Hegseth writing on X that the Department of War is always ready and there'll be more to come. Well, I've also spoken with Carla Sands, the former ambassador to Denmark under Donald Trump. And I started by putting to her that the Nigerians accept American support, but not the theory that they are designed, these strikes, to protect Christians.
I mean, the foreign minister said it was a joint effort. So I think that our relationship is in a good place. We know the problems of the Christians being killed, tens of thousands of Christians being killed in Nigeria and in other places in Africa. And President Trump has really been talking about this for months. He warned the government. He said, you have to stop it. You have to get control of these areas. And I hear it called IS, I hear it called ISIL. Definitely Islamic State terrorists.
The numbers killed by jihadist groups in Nigeria are about 40,000 since 2009. And We know about pressure from inside the US, but at the same time, maybe what's not talked about quite so much is that these groups are causing such horror in Nigeria.
Yes, whether it's the burning of churches with Christians worshiping inside them, or the killing of people, the maiming of people, cutting off of limbs. These people are terrorizing, and these are often people from Niger and Mali, and they get these young, they're along the border of Nigeria, they get these young people, these children that are basically, maybe they don't have parents or the parents can't afford them. They take them and they indoctrinate them and turn them into killing machines as well. And that's all these children know. So it's a really terrible situation and truly a crisis for Christians in Nigeria. The fact that this whole, the terrorism has spread throughout Africa is really concerning, and it's something I think that our European allies and the UK should also. I know France has been involved. This is something that needs more attention.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because this is a show of power in Africa, isn't it? On a continent where the American footprint's diminished in recent years, and in many ways, allowed Russia to grow their influence there as well.
Well, in China predominantly. But I agree with you. It's a shame that we did turn our attention away from Africa. And let's not forget that this Islam is a religion that is actually a form of governance, and their goal is to convert or kill everyone in their path. So they are doing what the radical Islamists do, which is exactly that. They're converting them or killing them. And that includes kidnapping the young schoolgirls and forcibly converting them. I mean, I know we got some of them back, and that's a great triumph. But too often this is happening across the continent. But Nigeria is certainly a hotspot that President Trump has been warning. And I think there will be a change now in Nigeria, that the government will work to clamp down.
But there is a contrast here, Carla, isn't there? Because President Trump's base at home, they did say originally that they wanted a more isolationist plan when it comes to foreign affairs, but they've been campaigning pretty hard for more intervention in places like Nigeria.
Well, I disagree with your premise completely. This is not about isolationism. The America First movement is about America First, but not alone. We need our friends and allies, and certainly anywhere that we leave in a region in the world creates a vacuum that really bad actors tend to move in. We've seen that over and over again, whether it's Russia or China or another state. Problems creep up if sort of the eye of the United States and some benevolent presence is lacking, and it happens. And so this is just one more example.
Can I just switch track for a moment and just talk about the news that's come out about the King and Prince William coming to America next year on 2 visits, we think. So, can I get your take on that, but also kind of the take on Queen Camilla and the Princess of Wales and their presence or potential presence on the trip?
Right. So when I look at the news release, I only see the name King Charles and Prince William. And I think women across the country, and many men as well, would love to see the Queen accompany her king, and would love to see Princess Catherine join in this amazing visit. If it is that both of them come in 2025, helping us to celebrate our 250th anniversary of America's founding, that would be just extraordinary. And I know it would be very positively received by the American people. We love our heritage. We love our heritage countries. The fact that many of us have roots in Great Britain or in the United Kingdom. And we love, President Trump, we know, loves the pomp and circumstance. He loves that. And he loved being honored with that second state visit by the King Charles. So he felt honored. I thought it helped cement our special relationship between the UK and the US. But we really are having trouble with some of the things that are happening both in the EU and the UK with the policies and the fact that the economies aren't doing well because of bad policies and overregulation and expensive energy, bad energy policy. So I know that will be part of the conversation. I know King Charles is not political, but he certainly has a big voice in the UK, and that will be part of the conversation.
Well, it's interesting you say that. I mean, it's not really soft power at all. This is the ultimate hard power, isn't it? It's about getting political relations potentially back on track in some of those areas.
I think it is ideal and beautiful, and President Trump is a diplomat president. There's no question he has the most powerful diplomatic skills of any president, certainly in my lifetime and maybe in American history. The way he has worked to end wars and achieve ceasefires, most of which have held, the fact that he ended the war between Hamas and Israel, between Israel and Iran, and is truly working on achieving peace through Ukraine and Russia. And I certainly hope UK and EU leaders will support that peace and not push to drag the United States into this war.
Carla Sands there, the former ambassador to Denmark under Donald Trump, talking about that royal visit due to take place in the US next year, and also the attacks in the last couple of days from the US in Nigeria and those comments by the US Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth.